So Canes fans, I've got a question for you. We're less than 1 month away from the Miami versus Miami of Ohio game, and I want to know if you're sipping on any of this. Now, don't be shy. Down in the comment section, you can let me know. This is a judgment-free zone. There's not a right or wrong answer here. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about if I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and then we're also going to take a look at some number changes and new numbers for players on the roster. What's going on, Canes fans? I promised you guys that we were going to be uploading as much as possible on this channel from now until the end of the college football season. It is officially grind time. So here we are on a Sunday evening, and I typically just chill. I try to take Sundays off and not really work on anything at all. But, you know, I was sitting around and thinking about the Kool-Aid, you know, man, and this is orange, you know, which is one of my favorite flavors. And I thought about making some, but I decided not to. Now, what I actually want to do is, before we get into the Kool-Aid talk, that's right, I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to show you guys some of the new numbers for the Miami Hurricanes this season. And what brought this about is when we were doing the live simulations, I had a lot of people in the comment section saying, Coop, why is Mark Fletcher wearing number 22? I thought he was going to be this number. Or, that's not Tyler Harrell. He's not number 15. Did you get the numbers mixed up? There are a lot of players that have been assigned numbers now officially, guys that were either transfers or guys that didn't enroll until the fall, and then also some guys that have just moved around and changed their number. Now, we actually covered this early on in the spring. There were a ton of number changes, and we'll go ahead and I'll put that up on the screen again as well, just to remind you of those number changes. Now, very quickly here, in case you think this is silly and unnecessary, I do think it is important because as we're going through fall camp, you know, people are seeing guys in numbers and they think it's someone else. And they're like, wow, this guy really, he got a lot bigger. Or, you know, look at the transformation. Or, wow, he got faster. Or, what happened to this guy? And they don't realize that they changed numbers. So I do think it's important to just make note of this. We'll go through it really quick here. And I made a little image for you to take a look at, so it makes this a little bit easier. That way you can screenshot it, or if you're listening to this with no video, I'll read them out loud. That way, you know, I can help you out as well if you're listening to this almost like a podcast. So here are the new numbers. Some of these are guys that have changed numbers. Some of these, they've just been assigned this number. I'm just going to go down the list here right quick. Jacoby George, wide receiver, is now number 3. Wide receiver Tyler Harrell is rocking number 15. Shamar Kirk, number 83. DBs, Damari Brown, number 6. Robert Stafford, number 16. Caleb Spencer, number 21. Jaden Davis, number 22. Jadis Richard, number 25. And Demetrius Freeney, number 29. Moving on to some running backs. As we said, Mark Fletcher is number 22. Christopher Johnson Jr. is rocking number 24, and the transfer A.J. Allen has been assigned number 28. Taking a look here quickly at the linebackers, you've got K.J. Cloyd, the transfer that brings some experience to the table, rocking number 23. We got Aguirre, number 32. Pulliam, number 33, and a couple of offensive linemen here. Cristobal Jr., number 52. Kinsler, number 62. And then wrapping it up with a couple of defensive linemen, Campbell at 93 and Joshua Horton, not to be confused with Isaiah Horton, the wide receiver, rocking number 8. I told you guys that I would go ahead and show you again the number changes from earlier in the season. Just as a quick brief reminder here, Couch now number 0, Porter number 2, Kenshin's 5, Markeith Williams 15, James Williams dropping the 0 over to 20, Mesidor number 3, Kelly number 9, Moten 99, Redding 13, Colby Young 4, and Brashard Smith 0. Now again, we kind of just blew through those because you can pause the video and take a look if you want. You can screenshot it if you want something to reference. Or maybe it doesn't matter to you at all, which is also completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. That way maybe it can stop some of the confusion. So let's get to the part that you're probably actually really wanting to talk about, which is who's drinking the Kool-Aid this season. Now, you know, there's a couple of different ways to look at this. You know, maybe you're just sipping the Kool-Aid. Maybe you've made a couple gallons of it and you've already been consuming it over the last few weeks, and you're definitely going to be partaking in some Kool-Aid drinking during the season. I'm going to come out and just say, I'm just going to be blunt right out of the gate here. I am not drinking the Kool-Aid this season. And I'll be 100% honest, I did last year. I was all in the hype, you know, Broyles Award winner, offensive coordinator, Charlie Strong coaching the linebackers, Kevin Steele bringing tons of experience, all these big name coaches, you know, transfers, Tyler Van Dyke, you know, for Heisman and all this stuff. And this year, I am with that crowd that is taking the wait and see. I have to see results on the field. And I need you guys to know, though, that there really isn't a right or wrong answer here with this. I'm not here to play fan police, and I can't stand when people do. It's actually one of my pet peeves. It really pisses me off a lot when someone tries to say, if you're not all positive, you're not a fan. If you're not all negative, you're not a fan. No one gets to decide that. There are no rules to this thing. So you do you. And let me do me and let everyone else do them, and stop judging people. But I do like seeing how people feel about this. So what I'm doing, like I said, wait and see approach. I am cautiously optimistic about the season, though. I really have a positive outlook with the direction that this program is heading. I mean, again, we're pumping money into the program. I think that the coaching staff that Cristobal brought in this time is going to be a little more hungry. I like the additions that we picked up out of the transfer portal. I think the 23 class that came in is really looking to prove something. You know, they want to turn this thing around. And I am excited. I am. I'm always excited watching the Canes take the field. You know, it's been months and months and months without football. But as I said, I'm sitting back and I'm just going to sort of let things play out. You guys know that my early season prediction was 7-5. You could maybe talk me into 8-4, but that's kind of where I'm hovering around. And I do see that as a positive step forward. It's not a leap, but I see it as a positive step. I mean, literally, if we win more games than we did last year, especially if we can win the games that we're supposed to win, you know, like Miami, Ohio, and ACC teams that are really unperforming, maybe like Georgia Tech, teams like that. We need to take care of business against those teams this year. And hopefully we get an upset. You know, we beat Texas A&M, or we shock Clemson, or we rebound and we beat Florida State this year at Doak. I'm not making any of those predictions, but I'm just saying what I would really like to see this season is Mario Cristobal get a signature win. Last year, you know, we were hoping to see that, but he's going to be known for a signature loss against MTSU. I really think it would help Mario Cristobal and his resume here at Miami. It could help win over some fans if he could win one of those games that we're technically not supposed to win. You know what I mean? But I'm still going to talk some trash this season. I'm currently working on a diss track for one of the games this year. I'm not going to spoil it and say what it is, but it's okay. You can be that fan that is riding the fence and still also talk trash. You can be that fan that's providing a ton of constructive criticism, but also applaud the team when they do well and they win games. Like I said, I can't say it enough. There's not a right or wrong way to do this thing. So stop judging people. I'm serious. It gets so annoying, man. But I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't think that, you know, we win 10 plus games this season. I don't think we're competing for a conference championship. I don't think we're making a run for the playoffs, national championship, any of that. But here's the deal. I'm hoping that with this approach, I'm kind of just sitting back. We're just chilling. I'm hoping that I'll be pleasantly surprised. The expectation, don't get me wrong, the expectation is a national championship. That's the goal that is set for every single season. And if we don't reach that goal, then it was kind of sort of unsuccessful, right? The only thing is I wouldn't label the season as a complete failure. We just didn't reach the end goal. But definitely not a failure. I just need to see us take a positive step forward. And I'm just hoping that with this mindset, that instead of overhyping the team, trying to be a little more real, instead I'll be pleasantly surprised. And maybe we do come out and we win 9 games or 10 games. And I'll be super happy. And as I said, even if you're predicting another 5-7, you are allowed to celebrate when we win games and when we do well. Yes, you can do that. But man, just a quick little hitter on this Sunday evening. I'm not going to lie, it's tempting, right? I'm sure many of you are going to jump down in the comment section. You're going to say, Coop, I would love to be drinking this by the gallon, but I just can't do it right now. It's tempting, man. I really like the guys that we have on the squad right now. We have a lot of depth that we didn't have last year. If we can remain injury free, this is what I'll end on. You could talk yourself into 10, 11, or 12 wins if you really wanted to break it down. The problem is we do that every single season. You break down every game and you're like, well, if this little thing happens or if this goes our way, we could win that game. So you could talk yourself into an undefeated season every time. The problem is you have to look at your Canes pride and then you have to look at the reality. And what we want to happen versus reality and what's much more realistic can be totally different sometimes. And just remember that this season when Coop's making his predictions. In my preview videos, I try my best. I'm not always successful, but I try my best to set my Canes pride to the side. I make these score predictions assuming that I'm putting my life savings on the line. Now, as I said, cut me some slack because sometimes the orange and green gets the better of me. I just can't help it. It's tough to come up here and predict a loss to a team like Florida State. I don't want to do that. I don't enjoy it at all. But we're going to try really hard to keep it real this season. That's how we're going to operate. But let me know down in the comment section below if you're drinking the Kool-Aid or not. Judgment-free zone. Just be real and honest with me. I'm kind of curious. I want to see a lot of participation in this one. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.